In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, the notice requirements have been satisfied. The meeting dates for the year are confirmed at the annual meeting, are posted on the public bulletin board in the lobby of the Municipal Center, and published in the record within the first 10 days of the new year. Salute to the flag, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Omar, roll call, please.
Councilmember Corsair?
Here.
Councilmember Dayton?
Here.
Councilmember Michaels?
Present.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor?
Here.
Councilmember Park?
Here.
Councilmember Rolari? Here. Mayor Zena?
Here. Before we get into the Arbor Day proclamation presentation, I just wanted to make sure everyone knows and the public know that we had the official ribbon cutting this afternoon for the skate park, the dog park, the pollinator gardens. The park was filled with dogs and skaters, so it was very cool. Everybody loves it. So it's open 7 days a week to everyone, whoever wants to use it. And thank you to all the residents who helped make it happen, and the council, the administrator, and the staff that made it happen. So thanks, everybody. Right now, it's
Like
dusk
every
till dawn,
park,
dawn to
till
dusk.
dawn, yeah.
Yeah. We're going to have signs that go up with some of the rules. Okay. Next is the Arbor Day proclamation. Councilwoman Dr. O'Connor, would you like to read that for us, please?
Yes, thank you. Whereas April 25th, 2025 is designated as National Arbor Day, which is a day set aside to promote the planting of trees, tree conservancy, and appreciation of our environment. And whereas the Borough of Tenafly has promoted tree conservancy and planting for many years, and whereas trees in our community increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our borough, and whereas the Borough of Tenafly has been recognized as a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Foundation and desires to continue its tree planting practices, now therefore the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Tenafly do proclaim April 25th, 2025 as Arbor Day and urge all citizens to celebrate this day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands.
Thank you. All right. To be considered, the first item on the agenda is the dust control ordinance. David Howie.
I think that would probably be.
You got it? Okay.
Yes. So the council had asked me to look at the last council meeting at a way to incorporate other materials in addition to the dust control that is incorporated in the existing code with soil. So I just wanted to report back. I put together a form of a draft ordinance. There's no chapter number or anything like that because obviously you all need to give feedback, but it doesn't fit where we had discussed at the last meeting. So we wanted to bring it back and make sure that everybody's on board before we move forward, that it goes either under litter control or under building and construction, because in the other area where we had discussed at the last council meeting, it would only apply to someone who was getting a soil moving permit. So it doesn't really fulfill the purpose of what was discussed. So you have a draft in front of you. If you want to take time to digest it, if there's any comments, Dr. O'Connor has provided a model, Councilman Park had as well. I looked around a little bit more and just put together what I thought was most appropriate. You're free to disagree.
So it was in litter control previously?
No, and when I did a little research on it, some towns have put it under litter control and to also incorporate, they already had existing items with litter that it could go under. Some have more robust construction code. So it was generally under the building and construction. That was the more prevalent area, but I did want to give you that option in case that was something you wanted to consider.
I wouldn't go on the building. You need a permit to do it if they are ratio or not, to put in something that.
Well, you would still have construction permits regardless of whether it's as of right or not. You would still come in for permits for electrical, plumbing, or things of that nature. So unless it's minor owner
Well,
I think Dan had some thoughts.
Yes.
go ahead, Dan. What were you going to say?
So just to clarify, I sent her a sample of what I thought it was. It was under the soil movement ordinance, so it was completely off. Yeah, but, so this would just cut and paste into, well, not cut and paste, but just kind
I
of
believe
slide
it's
into
chapter 7, somewhere into
into
chapter
construction?
7.
Something in construction.
Which is where we had added in also in the state mandated the lead testing with the dust wipe sampling, that went into that area as well. It's just a more residential standard area.
It sounds like the better
Yeah.
fit than the more natural fit, correct?
Is construction. Yeah.
The building and housing.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody was comfortable, because it's a little bit bigger of a ordinance now than what we had thought. It's not just adding
Lauren.
materials.
Lauren?
Totally fine with everything construction, makes perfect sense. I would just put a note under in our litter and garbage section, like any resident that utilizes the materials in this section is to abide by it. You know, just, I would put like a 2 section so that any property
For
owner
like in the soil movement permit.
or litter garbage section. You have a garbage, litter garbage section. And just say, you know, if any individual homeowner is utilizing these materials, same rules apply.
Well, the litter was more considering the dust is litter. It wasn't, it's not that your litter ordinance already provides it if you're cutting tile, you know. It's
Like if
more
I was
the-
cutting my own tile,
It's more,
I'm saying.
right, but that wouldn't be covered by litter. That's just, you know, you don't let things
Slide
slide onto the ground.
Right, it's not,
Garbage.
this isn't litter, right?
It wouldn't
Right.
cross-reference. I did put in
Right.
addition to any other
Right.
requirements, because obviously there are soil movement dust control requirements as well.
yes.
So that's why that it starts with that language.
I just want to make sure like any individual homeowner has to abide by, because it does say here, very specifically in the whereas the contractors.
So
I
I
just wanna-
defined contractors to include property owner, agent, or contractor.
Got it, okay.
No.
No,
there's
the
violations.
bottom of page 2.
You get a
I
fine.
included
Compliance and
violations
enforcement,
because
yeah.
it's always easier to remove something if you don't want it.
Right.
This is like any other construction. Violated.
So in the soil movement permit, there are enforcement provisions, but I don't think it was discussed separately. No. But feel free to, you know, get back to me
We're
with
gonna come back
comments.
with comments. We're not ready to, you know, to.
This is really just an
Right.
update. This is not going to be brought for introduction until you all are ready.
So do
All
you
right.
have, do you have a time frame to hear from us then?
That's your
I think if you have any council members that have comments or myself, we're going to send them to David. David will compile them and send them to Wendy. Okay, John, Lauren, you got that? Comments, go to David. Okay, great. All right, next on the agenda, council meeting schedule for June and August. High school graduation is June 17th, right? Four of us are going to be there.
Maybe move that meeting to a Monday.
Yeah, that works.
Monday, June 16th.
That works.
How is everybody with Monday, June 16th instead of Tuesday, June 17th?
Hold on a second. That's a rough week. That's like the half days of the kids.
To get around.
Because four of us are going to be at
Yeah,
the graduation.
That's
You're
fine.
likely going to be there too.
Definitely be here.
That's fine. So Monday the
I
16th.
emailed.
Unless, do you want to do the back-to-back meetings, the 2nd and the 9th?
The 9th is primary day of the campus.
Oh, 9th is primary. That's right.
It's actually the 10th.
The
Dan
10th
says
is
it's-
primary day.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
um,
10th is
Monday.
I'm
Monday.
fine with Monday the 16th or Monday.
I'm not-
So it sounds like Monday, June 16th it is?
Yes.
So we have the 3rd and then the 16th.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yep. Okay.
And then there was, Mr. Mayor, there was some talk about the August schedule. So we had put the August schedule at the annual resolution at the first.
David, could you put your microphone on, David? There,
I'm
one
sorry.
button.
Can you hear me now, Adam?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
the August meetings right now are the 5th and the 19th, the first and third Tuesday. It was brought to my attention actually by the council president that the summer meetings are usually on Mondays so that you can go to the summer concerts.
Giggly,
It's kids outside, I think.
just the loudness.
They're outside.
Oh,
They're not inside.
And-
Admiring the mural.
Everybody's good.
So, if we could move those meetings to Monday, August 4th and Monday, August 18th.
I'm not here the 18th, but am I the only one?
I had it as Monday the 4th. I don't know why. Okay.
And with Monday, the 18th is typically, there's not a second meeting in August. Last year we added a special meeting, so we contemplated a second meeting. It can be canceled if we don't have a need for it as we get closer
Oh,
to the end of July.
So you want to just keep it Monday, August 18th, and if we want to cancel it, we'll cancel it on the 4th? Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is the council okay with that?
Am I the only one gone on the 18th?
That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
and then,
But there's a high likelihood it's going to get canceled.
and then,
Mayor,
Ju-
when
Yeah, I think I'm not-
to make sure
I'm not
there's
gonna be
no-
here either.
14th.
Okay, so this time we can go.
How do you guys know where you're going?
So
So far
We only
back.
have one in July.
Yes.
I was gonna ask that,
Yeah,
so
Monday,
July
July
14th.
14th is the only meeting in July.
Okay. Omar, we're good with that?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, next on the agenda is public comment. Audience members wishing to speak will have a 3-minute time limit to address the governing body on any items that concerns them. Large groups are asked to have a spokesperson represent them. Anyone here in the chambers want to speak? No? Public up, did you want to? I'm not pushing you. Okay,
I can't go to see, like, to hear what's happening.
okay, all right, okay. Omar, anyone else in the chambers here?
See no hands, Mayor?
Is there anyone online, Susan or whoever's online, would you like to make a public comment? Anyone else, Omar, out there? It looks like they're raising their hand.
See no hands, Mayor?
Okay, so we're going to close public comment, and let's move on to the administrator's report, please.
Okay, Mayor, I handed out paper copies of the report tonight. Omar can email them to you later tonight or tomorrow. Basically, just picking up from where you left off with the Grove Street Park, I expect that we'll have the punch list taken care of over the next couple of weeks. We do need to order more flower pots. I expect the ADA compliant planters, rather not pots, but planters to be in the week before Memorial Day.
Okay,
All right. Basically, it's all hands on deck with the pool operation. We have weekly meetings in my office and we are running out of time. So we have a number of things on the agenda tonight to move forward to keep that running like clockwork.
good.
I have some questions
Go ahead.
on some of this stuff. On the Little League field,
Yes.
so, I'm sorry, just how much was a grant that we were going for? Can you just do the numbers one more time for me, David? I'm sorry.
Sure. And I have a detailed memo, Lauren, that I could email to you as
Yeah, I
well.
never got, I still haven't gotten that one, so that's why I
Okay.
was asking
So
these
there's an
questions. Sorry.
LRIG grant
Mhm.
that was for $70,000. It required us to match it with $100,000.
Yeah.
And then there's a Bergen County Open Space Grant that we will get $119,000 and change. And I believe our match requirement is $140,000 and change.
Not bad.
Okay,
So we have right now $553,000 available. The bids, the low bid came in at, I believe, $620,000 or $610,000.
Hmm.
The good news about this is that we did get 10 bids and they were very competitive, but there's a gap of $90,000 to $100,000.
Mhm.
So the course of action is to reject all those bids, rebid it, but then concurrently to have some conversations with the Little League about fundraising and raising some donations to cover that gap
They were supposed to.
if the bids come in at the same level.
I'm very
They were supposed to
uncomfortable
regard-
asking our families that are in baseball and softball to raise $100,000 above what their taxes paid for. I feel that that is not appropriate for this type of project when we are sitting on so much open space funding that we've already raised revenue from taxes and set aside for green spaces and recreation. I think the bids are high. I'm fine rejecting them. However, to put it back on the people who've already been taxed for their recreation spaces, to then ask them to raise another $100,000, I just don't feel like that is the correct thing for us to do. How much is left in open space right now?
Just I wanna make-
Councilwoman Dayton, just so,
Yeah, this is Adam.
Wait, can I just get my answer
Yeah,
first?
let her answer, get her
Before
quick
everyone
answer.
jumps
Yeah.
down my throat. So how much is left in open space? Does anyone know?
I believe $1,300,000.
So we're sitting on $1,300,000 that we've raised for green space and open space and recreation. And you want to double tax the families because they're participating in this particular sport. Again, I just don't see asking the 100 families or so that play baseball to raise $100,000. It's not like we're raising $5,000.
All right, so.
It is an
Adam.
exorbitant amount
I
of
saw some
money.
stuff that
Yeah.
like do a lot of fundraising for sports.
Adam, go ahead.
no worries. And I know Councilwoman Dayton wasn't here last year. This was something that we all agreed to with the Little League. This is all in concert with the Little League. We're doing this all together. They understand they're here every step of the way, and that was part of the process that we worked on last year to get there. So they're already fundraising. They understand that there's extra stuff that we're getting. They're looking at fencing. They're looking at PA systems. So we're doing this with the Little League every step of the way.
But Adam, if you don't mind, how much financial obligation did they agree to fundraise for? Do we have a monetary idea of what they thought they were raising? Was it in this level of six figures?
Yeah, so
I'm not trying to
yeah, so first of all, you're a couple steps ahead. So we're rejecting the bids and hoping that it comes out. I've spoken to the Little League. I've offered a whole host of options. They said they want to, let's reject the bid, see what we hear back. But if not, they want to fundraise for it. This is the single most important thing to them is the turf. We've had multiple conversations, and that's what we're doing. Exactly what we've worked with the Little League to do.
So I understand that the Little League board has agreed to fundraise at this level, but I'm not sure you have buy-in from the families that participate.
I mean, I have to, just like the council represents the residents of town, we don't live in a democracy, right? We live in a republic. I assume the Little League is representing their constituents' interests. If not, then yes, we've made a mistake by working with the Little League. I don't think that's the case, though.
And fundraising
Jim.
is not always obligated. You're not always forcing people to
Right.
pay more. There's lots of other, there are corporate sponsorships.
Yeah.
course.
Presto, you drive past them, they've got their whole commerce.
Yeah.
thing.
No
They've
one's
got
forcing them to
a lot
do
of
anything.
Corporate sponsorships that I think that are solutions that I think that's where they're focusing the fundraising on and not the people. And they get advertising and they get a lot of things that go along with that corporate sponsor. They're doing it already. They're just upping the level. And I think it's fair. That's what they
And
want.
this
I
whole,
just-
this is
I
not-
hate
this
to
whole
be-
Little League thing was brought on
It's not gonna
with
just,
this agreement in place.
yeah,
That
and
they're
it's not just
chipping
the
in.
people that are gonna get taxed.
Yeah, it's not, if you think of it in terms of, it's not much different than Tenafly United paid for the soccer cage. So they wrote the entire check for the soccer cage over there.
Members.
Full
Whether
membership.
it's senior center, seniors pay dues. I mean, the nature center members make contributions to that. So it's not inconsistent. Yeah.
I understand that this is a high level.
Yeah.
I'm not talking 10, 20,000.
No, yeah, but they've been part of this discussion from the beginning.
That's fine, but
Yeah.
again, we are also collecting open space from our residents for recreational spaces.
Using
And
it
Use that or
nonstop.
something else.
But maybe we do this in phases with open space. First phase get,
I think let's see what they can raise, because I think they are on
Obviously.
board with it. And I don't think they're doing it to the people necessarily, so I think let's see how they come in there.
Yeah.
You can fill in the gaps.
And if you kind of do the math, let's just round it up to $500,000 to build this. The borough is putting up 80% of that money. So, so it's not nothing.
I will say, having done the municipal field here and doing the turf, there was no bids for 500. I mean, they're just even, however many years ago.
size.
It is a different size, but the turf has, because of the layers and everything else.
Wait, what?
It is a very expensive process to turf.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
I didn't think look, I think it's expensive. I didn't think 600 was so
We
outrageous,
went to the straight contract.
given what we
Yeah,
had
it's easy.
bids on for this
A
field.
large
What?
part of the bid, Lauren, is the drainage that's required.
Yes,
That's
for the
not
church.
worth it.
Right,
Yeah.
yes.
And
And
I would just note that we have
We got audited for that.
appropriated 625,000 to date from the open space fund for the Little League field.
Okay.
Is your question philosophical or order of magnitude driven? And if so, what order of magnitude would you be comfortable?
So it is an order of magnitude. I do think asking any board that is a volunteer board of residents to raise a six-figure amount. So the order of magnitude is definitely, look,
99 cents.
it's not. Yes, it is an order of magnitude, but also it's what addition, so Adam, I don't know the additional things that are being added into our project that Little League, is like, this is a must or this is a maybe. And so again, we want to get this up and running. I hate to delay this, we're in softball, baseball now. And so I hate to delay this another 6 months for bids and everything else.
Well, we're about to start baseball season on Saturday, and I'm throwing out the first pitch. Hopefully I'll do a better job this year.
It's gonna pour on us, Mayor. It's gonna
That's a
pour
whole
on us.
other conversation, right? So we're not going to interrupt their season with any construction. I think perhaps the question about their contribution is really we have to have that conversation with them to understand what they are comfortable with, right? Then we revisit this whole
Like
conversation.
maybe we get the field in and not the shack, and the shack's a
But
volunteer.
this
But-
is Adam.
Yeah, Adam, you want to weigh in, please? All right. One at a time.
He's laughing because he's going to repeat what he just said.
I mean, more
All
for
right.
humor than anything else. I think, first of all, let's get the bids back. There's no need to have this conversation until we get the bids back, find out
Yeah.
what we get as a lower bid, and then this whole conversation is moot. So I say we just wait for the bid to come back. How's that?
All right,
So-
anything else? But I think we understand where everyone's view
Just
is.
a quick point of order for David to know, on your Borough Administrator report, you mentioned about getting ready for the spring fling Saturday, May 4th. That should be Sunday, May 4th, right?
Yeah, it's something.
And it said that this week and this weekend, DPW will be power washing sidewalks in the downtown area. I just want to remind, in your communication with DPW, I know Councilman Park's doing it.
They're all set for the trash.
Trash-a-thon, they're going to be there and not, all right,
They're
awesome.
doing the rotation for pickup, right?
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
all right. Let's move on to new business. Councilman Park, would you like to make a motion, please?
I move to introduce on first reading ordinance 25-15 and set the hearing for May 6, 2025 at 7:30 or soon thereafter.
Have a second, please? Omar, could you please read the title of the ordinance and conduct a roll call?
Sure.
Ordinance number 25-15, an ordinance entitled Establishment of a Municipal Pool Utility of the Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of Tenafly, 2004. Councilmember Corsair.
Yes.
Councilmember Dayton.
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels.
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor.
Yes.
Councilmember Park.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Leary.
Yes.
Okay, before we move on to the consent agenda, I just want to make a comment that I've been in touch with the family of Edon Alexander and along with the downtown committee about, actually it was Councilman Rolieri's wife who came up with this idea of planting yellow flowers downtown, as a sign of hope for bringing Edon back. So I talked to the dad today. They think that's fabulous. They're very interested, looking forward to that happening.
That's beautiful.
Michelle's got the whole thing in the works with David, okay?
Thank you. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you.
I actually had one more thing on David's report. Sorry, I wasn't fast.
One last thing.
It's actually about the May Spring Fling. So a resident contacted me whose high school and middle school kids wanted to have a booth at the downtown fling. They actually went to Main Street Pops, who said obviously we're sold out. But what I was curious about is the way they've actually been told to do it now is that the kids had to pay $150
Yeah.
with the Chamber of Commerce
Yeah.
to be part of our community event.
Right.
And that just seems
Sorry,
extreme to me.
could you explain, say that one more time, Lauren? I'm sorry, I
A
missed
high
that.
schooler and a middle schooler have a business, have like a, arts and crafts kind of thing.
Okay. Yep.
They want to be part of our spring fling and go out and put out a table with their goods. So they were told to contact Main Street Pops, who said you have to go join the Chamber of Commerce. So they just paid $150, these two kids, join the Chamber of Commerce. They're not an ongoing business here in Tenafly. That seems ridiculous. Is there an option, since we are doing this event, and it's not just us, it's with us and the chamber, to have, like, if a kid wants to be part, to have some sort of alternative route than him or her joining the Chamber of Commerce for $150.
So
I
why
actually
don't,
want to talk about this.
so why don't we have this as an off, 100%, I understand exactly what you're saying. Let's have this offline conversation about what's going on, okay?
I mean, now they have literally paid to join the Chamber of
Okay.
Commerce for like a middle school soap business.
Right. Soap business?
Yeah.
Well,
everyone's
it looks
gonna
like we're all gonna be morally obligated to buy a lot
buy
of
some
soap.
soap,
Fight Club.
$150 worth,
It's like Fight Club.
right?
Maybe there's, is there a table fee for the event?
Okay.
It's $150.
All
for
right,
the
so
table.
But
we'll
the
take
table
that.
fee for the event, it's not to join the chambers.
No, they were told they had to join the,
All right, we can
We'll
talk
talk
about
Okay,
it later.
let's- this is an
That doesn't
offline
make sense,
conversation.
because
This
not
is
all the
our
vendors are
community
a part of
event.
it.
Right.
But not,
Understood.
it doesn't make sense, because not all the vendors are part of the chamber. It doesn't
Only
make sense.
I mean, I know we're moving on, but only nonprofits don't have to pay the table fee.
Right,
And
so
I'm
let's
saying that
talk,
as a
let's talk
person
about
who's
this
had to
offline because
pay
we don't have enough facts to resolve it here.
that's fine, but maybe we make a student or a young person
Okay.
We'll
entry
we'll talk
rate
about
of
it.
like
No,
$25.
Let's talk to Jenny, she knows all.
Yeah.
She and I have been in touch on this one.
Okay, moving on to the consent agenda, I'm going to pull item M 25-260. Okay,
You also define the scope of 258. What is the expanse of Main Street that's being done? It's an abomination, so the right answer is 3 miles.
I believe this is the DOT.
Yes.
yes, I believe so also. It is, right, Omar?
As we had previously approved, if I recall correctly, Highway to East Clinton, that was not done.
I think that's what this
Clinton
is.
all the way to Temple Sinai is.
County.
No.
That one's county.
No.
No, wait, say that again? Highwood?
Sinai.
It's East Clinton to like,
To West Hudson.
That's county, because it goes down Westerville. I try to plan our thing to do all of it at once, but that's the county section.
Well, interesting little fun fact about Engle Street and Englewood. They discovered while figuring out, they've got that bridge to repair and all that stuff over there they're working on, that part of Engle Street is actually a US highway.
Oh, yeah, that's
They
right.
didn't- Yeah.
Yeah.
what
It's
number?
part of it's town, part of it's county, and part of it's a US highway.
So never
Small
get
feet,
paid.
like 30 feet of it. Something crazy. Do you have that?
Are we
It's not on
going
the
from-
resolution.
So are we
Okay.
going, to answer John, are we going from?
We don't have the detail here, but David will follow up and send an email to everyone.
Hudson and Highway.
Yes.
See if I can look up the engineer.
No, but they-
Okay, while he's looking it up, are there any other consent
Hudson
agenda
to
questions?
Highway to East
Correct.
Any other consent agenda questions?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to ask for motions then. Can I get a motion on resolution R25-248 through R25-259?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Omar, please call the roll.
Councilmember Corsair,
Yes.
Councilmember Dayton,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilmember Hart,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Leary.
Okay, could I get a motion? Go ahead.
It's English Street from Highwood to East Clinton.
Excellent, thank you. Timing on that?
We're going under contract in May, so it should start in May. I know we had to have it under contract by May 20th, so.
Okay,
Any coordination with the county on the other half?
Yes.
can I get a motion on resolution R25-261 through R25-285?
We're doing
So
from
moved.
Pardon me?
Clinton.
What did I do wrong?
They go from Clinton all the way.
I pulled 260.
And I wanted to do Westerville.
So moved.
Okay, can I have a second? I have a second. Omar, please call the roll.
Councilmember Corsair,
Yes.
Councilmember Dean,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Duncan Connor,
Yes.
Councilmember Park,
Yes.
Councilmember Roller.
Yes.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the April 8th, 2025 mayor and council meeting? Can I get a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Councilwoman Dayton, any committee reports tonight?
No, but I want to make two announcements. One, everyone please buy their tickets for the Enchanted Evening for the Nature Center.
I bought mine already, 2 tickets.
That's great. Now fill a table, Mr. Mayor. It's a lovely donation to our nature.
Yes.
I love, I am, and as a donation, you get a tax write-off.
Okay.
Okay, and the second thing is that we are still putting together a Pride Committee. And David, would you mind, can we schedule a meeting for Pride? Maybe you and I discuss it, but we're still looking for members for a Pride Committee. If anyone would like to come out and plan this year's Pride Day, actually won't be there, but our Pride Committee will have it under control.
Okay, good.
How many members are,
How much what?
how many members are, like, how,
Well,
What-
some of
who's
the
there
members have
now?
stepped off.
Uh-huh.
We were about 8, and some of the members have stepped off, and we have 2 new families who came on. And so just if anyone else is out there, we have to get a meeting going.
Okay.
For June.
All right, Councilman Rolieri, anything? Wonderful, wonderful. Councilwoman Corsair? Okay. Councilwoman Dr. Julie O'Connor?
Yes, I have 2 things. One is the Environmental Commission and High School Green Team and our Nature Center all combined to please have the trash-a-thon, please attend, please sign up at the Nature Center website. You register in advance, it gives us an idea of how many people are coming. Young people get community service hours if they register with their own names, so that's good stuff. So Tenafly Nature Center, it's this Sunday, April 27th, 1 to 4. You can come anytime in that window, pick up your stuff and start cleaning up trash. And the other thing that came up was something rather interesting during the new residents committee that Tenafly Welcome Committee that I'm liaisoning to. So it came up, well, first of all, we have a new residents event of anybody who moved here within the last calendar year. So April 2024 to April 2025, there's an event tomorrow night, which will be by the firehouse area. And you'll have lots of goodies. It's going to be 6 to 7:30 tomorrow night for new residents. But something that did come up was that some new residents, depending on where they have moved from, actually get a little bit concerned when they hear the sirens that go off at noontime. So, because sirens mean different things in different parts of the world. Right, that's true, or like some sort of like war situation. And so we decided, I would ask if we could put on our website, maybe by the news flash section, when the siren, they might not realize that we always have a siren that goes off at 12 o'clock.
Why do we have? Yeah, why do we have a silent phone?
I don't know. I think it might be just to set your clock.
A lot of towns still do that in New Jersey. They said, why don't we have a conversation with the fire chief?
Yeah, maybe we eliminate
Let's
that.
have a conversation with the fire chief.
Okay.
it's not about time, it's always off. It's not about the time.
So then so that's interesting. So then maybe this becomes null and void. So if we don't, they understand you're always gonna have sirens for ambulances. But I think that maybe we could explain the lightning siren. That's something, just a quick thing about that is a lot of people don't realize that when you hear the 3 in succession, that means the lightning threat is over. You know, so if people don't, they think that that means you have to still stay off the field.
Yeah. We can do that, yep.
Okay, so
Completely agree.
so thank you. So if maybe David, I don't know about the 12 o'clock thing, if that's still up in the air. If you could maybe direct Omar with like a little thing, and then
Yeah.
I could tell the welcome committee. Thank you. And that's it.
Councilman Park,
Nope, nothing to report.
Council President,
Yeah, just 2 things. We spoke about the spring fling on Sunday, May 4th. The other thing is we had a great senior center meeting on Monday. They're electing some new officers. But one thing that I don't think I fully appreciated, obviously there's lots of events for the senior community. The mayor does an exceptional job making pancakes come Pancake Day. But I don't think I fully appreciated, they do a lot of stuff actually with the schools. So just in the past 2 weeks, they did with the second graders, they painted flower pots. They did actually a pen pal thing with the 8th graders. They're doing something with the high school. So whereas, yes, we think of the senior center as seniors because they're exceptionally good marketers, but it's actually, they do a lot of things with the students as well. So it was just something I wanted to highlight, and it was pretty cool. So that's what I got there. That's it.
okay, thanks.
Can I
Thank you.
just actually piggyback on that? So Adam, our senior services committee actually does something called Seniors to Seniors, where we were trying to encourage the high schoolers to come be buddies, come do visiting, come do social events for loneliness. And it's a great program. So it doesn't have to be seniors, it could be any resident, but we do have something called Seniors to Seniors. It's really nice.
Very cool.
Okay, great. My mayor's remarks I made at the beginning about the parks. So can you read the language to go into closed session, please? Oh, can you? I should have just said, will you, please?
Resolution R25-288, at a meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Tenafly, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, held on April 22nd, 2025. Be it resolved in compliance with NJSA 10:4-12, the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Tenafly are going into closed executive session to discuss the following matters: pending litigation, affordable housing, and real property potential acquisitions and leasing of borough property. Minutes will be taken of the meeting and released to the public at the time that the matter is resolved.
Can I get a motion to go into close, please?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed?